Hey guys, I'm Sarah Noked, and I'm the founder of OBM School, and I'm all about helping service support professionals really take their business to the next level, and this video is no different. In today's video, I want to share with you some of the tips that I've used over the years to leverage the lulls and the active months or the seasons of times when our clients really perk up and then sort of pipe down. I know that this summer has been so incredible for me. We have been caravanning, we have spent tons of time at the pool, but now is that period of time where clients start to perk up again and they're like, oh, it's September. You know, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, the kids are going back to school. And for a lot of us, that means ramping back up and hitting the ground running. So in today's video, I want to share with you some client acquisition tips that I use in the summertime, in September, when things are just starting to, ramp up again and clients are starting to wake up, pipe up and be like, hey, I need an online business manager, or hey, I need a virtual assistant. So these strategies will work regardless of the type of service you are providing for customers. Now, my first tip is to put yourself out there. Now, this is, I think, maybe the most obvious tip, but I say this because we don't do it enough. Now, my dad used to always say the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and that is especially true when it comes to being a service support professional. If you need some clients on your roster, you need to start to tell and put it out to the universe that you need clients. Now, I don't want to get all woo on you, but when it comes to wanting more clients on your roster, you need to start visualizing what that looks like for you. Maybe there are people already in your network that you're working with. Maybe there are potential clients that you've been thinking about. You have to start getting some clarity around who those people are so that you can actually ask them if they are looking for whatever service you provide. So as an online business manager, I always encourage my students and online business managers that work with us to really put it out there, to start to ask, existing clients, hey, do you have any friends or family that are looking for OBM services that run businesses? Hey, do you know potential clients maybe are in your networks where you could refer me? So the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And if you are wanting to work with more clients, the best thing to do is to start telling people in your network that you have availability on your roster. Okay? If you don't do that and you sit in the sidelines and wait for that to happen, it's just not going to happen as fast as perhaps you would like it to happen. Now, if you have an email marketing list, maybe you've been growing an email list on your website and there's a call to action to sign up, I want you to email out your list. Tell them that you have a new spot on your roster and ask them to reply back if they are looking to hire an OBM or if they want to talk to you and learn more about what it's like to work with you and to use your services as a service provider. The truth is that you need to hit the ground running now with a strong strategy for client acquisition, and it's as simple as being vocal. So my next big tip is all about co-marketing. What is co-marketing and how can that benefit you when it comes to client acquisition? So co-marketing is great, and this is a strategy that I have leveraged, all year long, but especially can be very, very important right now because you can definitely get a lot of traction is by leveraging your existing colleagues and friends in the industry who work with similar clients but offer different services. So as an online business manager, my go-to was a client that is a fantastic brand specialist. So she is a brand redesigner. She is a creative. Her clients come to her because they want a brand overhaul. And what's really nice about those clients is that they are the perfect fit for online business management because they are investing in their business. They are taking their business to the next level. Usually they have some team members. So I had identified that her clients are a really great fit for the types of clients that I like to work with as an online business manager. So she would put the vibes out there and email out her people that are potentially great clients for me and say, hey, you know what? I recommend Sarah. She's an amazing OBM. Here's how you can get in touch with her. And likewise, we used to do the same thing on our end. We used to advertise to our OBM students and our online business managers and our OBM clients who were looking for a rebrand. So it really is a win-win, and it can help open up your audience to people that maybe you wouldn't have come across. So that's a really, really great strategy. And if you don't have those relationships in place yet, then I definitely want you to start to build those relationships now and maybe put 3 or 4 people on your hit list, quote unquote, so that you can start working towards establishing these relationships. Because guys, relationships is where it's at as a service-based support provider. You really want to start to develop strong and authentic relationships with other individuals in this space because we can support each other. Now, the next tip is about repeat clients. So I came across this incredible statistic earlier on this week, and here's something to think about. The probability of selling to an existing client is 60 to 70%, whereas the probability of selling to a new client is much less. It's around 5%. So I want you to really think about that for a second, because I bet that, and this is obviously doesn't apply to you if you are a new service support provider, but if you've been providing services for the last few months, last few years, I want you to think about those existing clients that you used to have that maybe petered off or changed their contracts, or maybe they weren't the right fit for an online business manager and you had a discovery call, and now maybe it's been a year later, maybe it's time to touch base with that client, see where they're at, see what's been doing. Now, maybe they're ready for an online business manager. Going back to people that you've worked with in the past is going to be a great way for you to get clients on your roster now so that you can hit the ground running this season and have that traction going down the road. So if you are thinking to yourself, well, I'm not so sure, I don't know if I left off so well with that client, put that all aside and look at it more objectively and say, you know what, I'm gonna follow up with all my past clients. Maybe it's about emailing them, maybe you're gonna call them, and having a clear strategy to invite them to a coffee chat, see where they're at. And truthfully, some of them might have friends or colleagues or people that they know that are looking for this kind of support that you offer. So by putting it out there to the universe, you are going to make it more of a probability of getting some really great clients on your roster so that you can hit the ground running now, so that come next summer, you can actually plan to maybe take some time off. But for right now, it's sort of like the start of the school year for us in the Northern Hemisphere. And, for a lot of us, it sort of feels like a new year, new you in a lot of ways. So I want you to get as much traction as you can around clients. And part of that means putting out the vibes to those past clients and asking the big ask of, hey, maybe you're not a great fit for an OBM right now, but maybe you have colleagues that are looking for this kind of service. I'd love for you to refer me. Maybe, and this is my next tip, maybe you have some referral program where you give a little kickback of some financial, monetary bonus if somebody actually refers you and you land that client. I think sometimes it feels not nice to ask these big requests from people to, share the good word about your services. But I will say this is that most people really do love to spread the good word about you. It's also an opportunity to say, hey, you know what? I really loved working with you. Maybe you don't need my services right now, but I'd also love referral, maybe a testimonial. That stuff is really going to help you in the future gain the right clients. Now, my next tip is for those of you who are maybe just getting started as service support professionals. And if you are, then I'm so glad that you found my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified, because I share lots of wisdom around scaling and growing a service support business. So I'm speaking to those of you who are becoming online business managers. So I'm gonna leave my starter kit below here in the description, because that is jam-packed full of really great things. But I wanna remind you that there's different sorts of service support professionals, and I love my online business managers. I've been an online business manager for over a decade. I speak mostly to OBMs, and when it comes to being an online business manager, you really have to have your shit together. If you are thinking about acquiring clients and you don't have a website yet, you don't have an intake funnel, maybe you haven't really thought about your sales strategy yet or how you're doing your sales calls and all that stuff, you're gonna want to spend some time now getting that stuff up to snuff, because when it comes to online business management clients, they do their due diligence. And I'll leave my video all about clients here, because I wanna share with you some of my tips and tricks around what clients look like. But I wanna remind you that clients at that level who are looking for management in their business are looking for somebody who also has it together in their own business. And that might mean taking some time now before things really ramp up to get things in place in your business. Now, that is exactly what we do inside our OBM School Accelerator. You know, it's one thing to put yourself out there and have client acquisition strategies, but if you're bringing them back to no man's land, or they have nowhere to get more information about you, or they have to struggle to set up a meeting with you for that discovery call, you will ultimately lose that OBM client. So again, I want to share that link to the video here so that you can learn more about what OBM clients are like if you are just getting started. And I want to remind you to be a little bit aggressive with these client acquisition strategies, especially when it comes to co-marketing and speaking with your old clients that perhaps have other people that they can refer to you, or maybe they're looking for additional services from you. But spend some time, bake it into your calendar, and do the things that are going to help you hit the ground running for this sort of new business year or this new season, right? Because there are seasons in business, and September is a really juicy one to really get things going with client acquisition. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next week when we come out with our new video. Until then, see ya.